Hey, check this out. Life has never been easy. Driving was the only thing that saved me, the only thing that helped me to survive, and the only thing that made me believe that there is something more on the other side. However, I didn't find lawful application of the gift. As I said, life has never been easy for me. I am not proud of what I've done. No one would be. I had to dissolve, go into hiding, but then I met her. She was my undeserved second chance at life. I don't know what she has found in me. Her love brought me hope, but the hope was my ego. I thought that there is no time to think about consequences. That's why she has paid my debts, and holy fuck, there's a lot. Can't shut down the engine, can't fail her again. We'll be together while I'm driving on the road, because this is all I know and all I have. Jesus. This is OutDrive. What's up, everybody? I'm Abatage. You may be thinking, why isn't this done as a casual drive and only as a check this out? And that's basically because it's a one-off kind of thing. This is a very basic game. It's very, yeah. Even the store page says that it's more of an aesthetic concept than anything else, which I would say is true. So let's press any key. We can see that there's some controller support, but it's known as partial controller support. Oddly enough, you see on the top left the WASD steer. Yeah, you use the left stick to steer and LB to accelerate, and then B to brake. But that's not really that necessary, because RB is your, you know, they call it support live or support live or support something, but it's basically your boost, and you're doing that more than anything. Key, you know, buttons here are X to drift. Oh, I've been pressing A to drift while I've been playing, but okay. X to drift, and Y, which is to kill her, but it's basically to reset. We'll see what that means when we get into it here. Hopefully it'll load, but look at this art style. I mean, this is where we're at. It's really basic though, hence why it's just a one-off. So let's get driving. Hopefully it'll load. Sometimes it takes forever to load, and I don't know why. Yep. Great art though. I mean, look at this. It's typical. Obviously, there's an aesthetic idea going on here, where we're dripping in neon and kind of 80s graphics. Oh, here we go. Okay, so accelerate. So you can see right at the bottom behind our car is that bar with red on either side and blue in the middle. And there's a little arrow telling us where we are. If we go too much, if we go too fast, we overheat. And if we slow down too much, see, I'm not pushing any buttons at the moment. But even if I accelerate, it doesn't do much either. We get low speed, and our girl who's in the car is gonna die. So basically it's balancing between accelerating and boosting, and then going around corners and trying not to slow down too much. And there's some, like, obstacles as well, like this, where you don't want to hit the police cars, because if you do, they'll just bring you to a stop and it's game over, essentially. And that's the entire game, and it's basically see how long you can last. You can see right at the top in the center there's a timer ticking up. We've got 1 minute and 6 seconds so far, and the idea is to get as far as you can and last as long as you can without letting your girl die. And I think the main thing to remember, oh, we're going to drift around here, it's a bit tighter. Oh, it's interesting. It said X to drift, but I just hit X. I'm hitting X now. And I ain't drifting. But then if I hit A, I drift. So you know there are some issues with this game. There are some problems. It's, you know, it's got some sticking points. And, you know, accelerating is essentially useless because I'm boosting at the moment, but once we get past this corner, I'll accelerate now, but it basically means I can't turn as tight while I am accelerating. But you can see my meter's still going down, so I might as well just boost it all the way. And then bring in a drift every now and then when I need to. But yeah, so you just kind of toggle between doing nothing, like just coasting, and boosting. And that seems to do enough. So as far as like, you know, driving controls, racing game kind of style, it's not that in depth. There are no upgrades, there's no different other cars, there's no other tracks. It's just this. And it looks very pretty, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm glad that the store page says, hang on, this is just a concept, it's not, you know, don't get too intense on me here. And, you know, fair enough, it's good to highlight that, but it's also good to remember that this only costs like a couple of bucks. So, fair dues. You know, I'm not going to get too up in arms about someone just having a go and explicitly telling any potential customers that, you know, there's not a lot of experience to be had here. There's not a lot, you know, to get stuck into. It's simply an aesthetically pleasing drive. Which is why I wanted to make this video. So, keep that in mind. But let's just have a little gander at, look at how this looks. I mean, you've been watching it. The sun's a bit dodgy there going through those mountains, so, you know, a bit of layers getting on top of each other and inside each other there. But hey, as far as a basic, you know, expression of check out this cool thing that looks cool, I like it. It's pretty groovy. I mean, there's also a thing, I was thinking about maybe doing it as a casual drive, but you can see why I'd only really get one video out of it, so hence the not doing that. But, you know, all there is to it is this, and you just listen to some cool synthwave kind of music, and you drive along the course, and you see how long you can last, and in a similar way it's kind of like Super Night Riders like that, but at least Super Night Riders had levels and courses that you could pick from, and, you know, it would change things up every now and then. Whereas this is exceptionally straightforward, and there's, you know, there's no customization, there's not even a difficulty level selection or anything like that. It's just you either play it or you exit. And this is playing it, so, you know, I'm kind of lasting a decent amount of time here. The problem with the track is that it is different every time, so it's obviously, you know, procedural or randomly put together. So sometimes, like, I did load this up to test it out, and sometimes you get a track where you'll get loads of obstacles like these guys coming up here. If you don't hit this ramp and you hit the cars instead, you're basically done. You might as well just give up and restart. And that's fine, that's cool, that's part of the game, but it gets really problematic, I guess, when they do those obstacles like one after the other, like just bam, 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 because, you know, it's more difficult. So I had a run where that happened, and I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of like a no going back thing. Oh, hit the edge a bit there, so slowed down too much. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of like any game like this where it's very simple and there isn't much to do, but it's just kind of groovy. I don't mind it. Like, I think that's kind of cool, and that's the kind of thing that I like about indie games and digital distribution and being able to make this sort of thing accessible. and available to an audience, that's great. The only thing is when you start charging too much for it, or, you know, pretending like it's more than it is. So that's why I don't really mind this one, because even though they are charging for it, I don't expect anything to ever be free. Because, hey, if you're in a privileged position where you can give away your work for free, then good on you. And I'm happy that you exist and that you have such a generous nature. However, I don't mind people getting paid for the work they do, especially if I'm going to enjoy it and reap the rewards. So, you know, it's nice that even though this is a paid game, like it's not free to play, it's still really cheap. Like, I think it's literally a couple of bucks or maybe $1. I probably picked it up on special somewhere or in a bundle, if I'm honest, because these sorts of games are not ones that I necessarily, you know, hunker after, or what's the word, like they're not ones I hunt down necessarily. I mean, it looks nice and everything, but I reckon if I bought it, I would have bought it on a sale, or I would have got it in a bundle. So keep that in mind. If that colours my perception on such a simple title, then hey, so be it. I wouldn't necessarily argue with you. Oh shit, see, here we go. Game over. Maybe? Oh no, maybe we can keep it going. Oh, that was a lucky recovery there. Well, now we've got a helicopter on the mix. It's going to shoot at us. Okay, this is different. I didn't see this the first time I tried because I didn't last this long. I wonder if it actually does slow us down or damage us, or, you know, make any difference. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so it can knock us off the track. Okay, this is getting more interesting. We're at 8.5 minutes. And on the Steam page, it actually says, you know, it challenges you. It says, you know, can you last 8 minutes? So, yes I can. Whoa now. Whoa, we're going backwards. Ah, and we're done. That killed us. Holy cow. Okay, so the helicopter does provide a bit of challenge. See up the top there, our girl lifetime was 8 minutes and 51 seconds. I'm pretty happy with that. And I think, you know, I kept the intro in as well to the whole game because it's cool art. And I love some aesthetically pleasing shit. So, yeah, dig it. But that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do any more. It's a very short one today. Only 8 minutes and 51 seconds, so probably a bit over 10 minutes all up. But, yeah, it's a good one to check out. I mean, there's not a lot to it, but it's kind of fun. It's chill. It's got some good music because it's all synthwave, you know, 80s electro-pop kind of stuff. And the art's cool. I mean, look at this. It's like neon heaven. And you saw the tracks, and yeah, it's pretty chill. And maybe there's more interesting stuff further down the road. And, you know, I can't promise that, obviously, but that helicopter messing things up kind of got me interested in seeing how much further this could go. So with that all in mind, I'll thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.